So I know this channel usually covers tactical shooters, FPS, and all that, but if you guys didn't know, I'm a huge D&D RPG fan. All of these pictures that I got hanging up here are from an online show called Critical Role. Even the statues here are from their show. I'm a huge Critical Role fan. I love Dungeons and Dragons. So Baldur's Gate 3 coming out this summer has been an absolute delight. Now, in between making content, streaming, game development, I haven't had a lot of time to put into it, but I have put in quite a few hours, and the game is fucking fantastic. And if you look online, the sentiment is pretty much repeated across the industry. Gamers are loving this game. It is pushing almost 1 million all-time peak on Steam. I believe it's in the top 10 all-time played on Steam. There is one group of people, however, who aren't loving it, which I find hilarious, and that's some AAA developers. There has been a little bit of an outcry from the AAA space where developers are trying to make sure that us consumers temper our expectations and that we can't use Baldur's Gate 3 to levy criticism against other games that aren't doing what they did. And developers have come out and have said that this cannot be used as the golden standard for RPGs and that we need to make sure that our expectations are in check. No. There's a video that was posted about this topic on IGN. I watched the entire thing, and I have to say, man, this might be the first time that I can actually put on camera that I respect a take from IGN. Maybe, just maybe, the pendulum is swinging back in our direction just a little bit. Instead of sucking off AAA devs giving us half-baked, broken products with microtransactions galore, a man by the name of Destin put a video on IGN explaining our frustrations with the AAA space, things that I have been saying on this channel for so many years now. It seems like people are starting to get it. Baldur's Gate 3 is one of the best games that has released this year, and although I'm not making coverage of it, just know I fully endorse good games coming out like this. No microtransactions, no nothing. Baldur's Gate 3 should be the example set from AAA developers. But unfortunately, some developers don't want to reach those kind of heights. I want to watch the IGN video here. I want to give you guys my thoughts on everything that was said in this report. Since everyone else is succumbing to reaction content online, I'm going to as well. My name is BigFry. Thank you guys for watching. If you end up liking the video, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Let's get into it.
Baldur's Gate 3 is taking the internet by storm. At its peak, a whopping 800,000 plus concurrent players were playing this weekend, catapulting it to the number 8 most played of all time spot.
The game honestly deserves it at this point. I haven't had a lot of time to play it, but every single second of what I've played, polished, enjoyable. The voice acting in this game is just top notch. It's a beautifully put together game.
The gaming community has sung its praises, and it's incredibly refreshing to play a feature-complete game of this caliber on day one.
Right?
But AAA game developers want you to know that this is Rockstar level nonsense.
Okay, Rockstar. Okay, hold on. I would not be surprised if this was more dev effort than the next 2 or 3 games in the genre combined. Only a few studio groups could even try this. I cannot wait to play, but this kind of effort likely won't be replicated this decade. Isn't that sad?
It's for scope, that it's foolhardy to set expectations higher.
Wait, hold on. I'm pulling back. What did they say? This is a great thread about why using a singular game to set expectations for everyone developing titles in a genre isn't useful and is instead foolhardy. Oh, the devs are pissed. The AAA space is in shambles, dude. All right, let's keep watching.
To set expectations higher, and Baldur's Gate 3 should not be used as a raised standard to RPGs going forward.
Why not? I feel like the comparisons are going to be drawn between Starfield and Baldur's Gate for like the best summer RPG. It absolutely raises people's standards when you have games that are coming out left, right, and center that are broken, and we finally get a game that's good. And look, it's taking off on Steam. What the fuck? All right, let's watch. Okay, this was from July 8th though. So that was about a month ago. Let's keep watching.
Why was the first response to defend the current state of AAA games as opposed to saying, hey, maybe we can learn a thing or two from Baldur's Gate 3 and make our game better for our customers?
Bro, no shit. Dude, am I about to agree with IGN for once? Dude, whoever this guy is, I like him.
This all kicked off way back on July 8th, a lifetime ago by internet standards, I know, when a writer and BAFTA nominee, Xavier Nelson, took to Twitter to
Who the fuck is this guy?
About Baldur's Gate 3, namely that fans would use Baldur's Gate 3 to apply criticism or a raised standard to RPGs going forward.
It should. In the AAA space, it absolutely should. Like, I understand not everybody is going to hit that standard, right? But when you're talking about like pricing your games based on the current market, if you're not hitting Baldur's Gate 3 standards, then is it fair for you to price your game at the same price as Baldur's Gate? Like, realistically, I think based on the quality that I have seen from playing Baldur's Gate 3, that game should easily be over $100. That game is one of the best games I played this year so far. Maybe it's a case of Baldur's Gate being priced too low. I don't know. To not have gamers raise expectation and raise, you know, the standard when we get games. I don't even think, does Baldur's Gate even have an in-game shop? I don't know. That's fucking ridiculous.
My rebuttal is, why shouldn't
the fuck's going on with my video here?
Customers have raised standards?
My guy looks like Leatherface here. There we go.
Further, why shouldn't some AAA developers raise their own standards?
Fuck.
Are we really going to pretend that consumers shouldn't be a little upset right now and hoping for an improvement in the industry going forward?
Bro, who is this guy? Who is this guy? This needs to be the dude at IGN. Like, I don't want to fucking hear from Ryan McCaffrey. I don't want to hear from anybody. This is the guy.
Rockstar just announced a $50 remake, conversion of the original Red Dead Redemption for the PlayStation 4 and Switch that has no mention of a 4K update, no mention of 60 FPS, and no mention of multiplayer support.
You know, the multiplayer support's a big one. Like, not for Red Dead. I don't really give a shit about Red Dead multiplayer. But when The Last of Us remake was coming out and it just released this year, granted, the PC port was completely fucked, I found it weird that that game got no criticism for not including the multiplayer mode, but still charging full price for the game. Last of Us multiplayer back on the PS4 and PS3 was fucking incredible. But they just, granted, it is a remake. They probably put more effort into it than Red Dead did, but The Last of Us multiplayer was incredible. And I was actually really disappointed that the PC release didn't get multiplayer support, and that's why I never bought it. I'm not gonna pay full price for you giving me half the game, and it sounds like with the Red Dead situation, it's even worse than that.
The game came out 13 years ago, and the Xbox port does everything they're offering, and then some for free with your 360 copy. Go buy a brand new copy of the Game of the Year edition on Amazon right now for $30, and you're good to go.
Facts.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor, when released on PC, had furious fans citing numerous problems getting the game to run, frequent crashes.
You know, this is one game that, like, I'm waiting for the issues to be worked out, but I haven't heard anything about how it's running now. I never even played it. I skipped it because I knew the PC port was fucked at launch, didn't even buy it. And that's a shame, man.
And similar problems on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox. EA apologized.
Here we go.
Still working to fix the issues.
Bro, we get one of these every 6 fucking months. Of course we want our standards raised. Our standards are bottom of the barrel. There's only one way to fucking go but up. And now we got devs in the space pissed off? Fuck off.
Destiny 2 just released a State of the Game blog saying, amongst other things, that they don't have the resources to release new ritual armor every season.
Bro, this video is a banger. Whoever this is doing a bang up job. Oh yeah, he's about to go into the storefront, right?
But that same studio manages to create new armor sets in the shop for up to $20 a pop without fail every season. Diablo 4 unabashedly has several character skins priced at $20 each.
Yeah, I'll be honest, man. I think the outrage over Diablo's monetization a little blown out of proportion. $20 skins is out fucking rageous, but I still thought the game was great at launch, played through it, enjoyed every minute of it. I don't need to buy skins for the game. I just didn't care that much. Maybe that's just a me thing. I thought the outrage over this was a little blown out of proportion.
And just released their first season that had a patch that was so poorly thought out that the developers had to have an emergency live stream to apologize, and have since begun working to revert those
Oh, fuck, I
changes.
didn't know that.
We don't plan on doing a patch like this ever again.
Are you serious, dude? Okay, I didn't know that. I actually didn't even know season 1 was that fucked. Bro, man, these devs just stay fucking up, dude.
Okay, you need a more comparable RPG
Yeah.
example of why fans are heralding Baldur's Gate 3 as a breath of fresh air.
Bro, I fucking love this guy.
Look no further than Mass Effect Andromeda, which was
Yeah.
widely panned.
Oh my god.
Sorry, my face is tired. For
Yeah, dude.
Everything.
BioWare.
Or Cyberpunk 2077
Mm.
that made promises about last-gen game consoles that
Oh.
it couldn't keep. It took CDPR almost a year to get that all sorted out.
I've been playing Cyberpunk recently. It's in a lot better state. Granted, I never played it on the PS4. Oh, look at this, dude.
I'll make this as clear as possible to contextualize how
Let's
fans
go.
are feeling. It feels like money has become more important than the core experience for fans.
It's not even, bro, it's not even that it feels like that. It is like that. And it has been for years now. I'm glad this dude is saying it, because on a platform like IGN, I think this video is about to push 1 million views. We need the big guys like IGNs and the GameSpots to start holding these motherfuckers accountable for giving us subpar products. This video is fantastic.
That's why Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate 3, and even The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom are being widely celebrated. So what is up with the excuses?
Yeah.
The game came along that is amazing, is selling well, is being praised by
Yeah.
developers and fans alike, and the response is, well, we can't do that. Well, sweet. If that doesn't get me hyped for Mass Effect 4, I don't know what will.
I love this guy.
Well-intentioned, and he went on to add a lot of important context.
Okay, well, let's look at the context here. So dev cycle stretching back to 2017, 2 massive games and their definitive editions worth of tech and yeah, of course. Super successful early access period lasting 3 years. Yeah, absolutely. Over 400 developers in 7 different offices around the, like, don't get me wrong, dude. Baldur's Gate 3 is what you would call an anomaly. Not every game is going to be as high quality as Baldur's Gate 3, but that's okay. But don't put yourself in the same stratosphere as a game like this. Don't market yourself as you know, a super advanced RPG. Don't price yourself in the same category as these guys. Now we have a standard as gamers, as consumers, to point to be like, don't buy this, Baldur's Gate 3. This game is okay, Baldur's Gate 3 is better. There's nothing fucking wrong with that. That just gives us a little bit of a bargaining chip to hold you a little bit more accountable for the games and the projects that you're making. The game we're working on is gonna be like 10, 15 bucks. There's a reason for that.
But I think it misses the perspective of the consumer.
It always
we
does.
don't know anything about game design or how hard it is.
Yeah.
We just know that Destiny is deleting hundreds of dollars worth of expansions when they feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
That Diablo is constantly reminding us to buy skins in their store.
Yeah.
And most PC ports
Oh,
have been
God.
abysmal lately.
Yeah.
Remember, that tweet was made nearly a month before Baldur's Gate 3 blew up, and it was still contentious with fans speaking up about their frustrations and developers
Yeah.
chiming in to say what felt like game development is hard, you don't get it, be quiet. Baldur's Gate 3 is a
Yeah.
game from a large, passionate...
I'm not gonna lie, game development is probably one of the hardest fucking things to do. And I'm also not gonna lie that there are a lot of entitled, misinformed gamers out there who spout absolute nonsense. There's no doubt about it. That being said, there is no excuse for the bullshit that has been peddled to us for the last, I would say, about 6 to 7 years. There is no excuse, and it's only getting worse. So when we find diamonds in the rough that is the industry, of course we're going to champion it. They're pushing for 1 million people playing this game on Steam this weekend. It goes to show you that we are fed up with the bullshit in the AAA space. We just are.
studio that refuses to add microtransactions.
Yeah, there's no
gave
microtransactions,
players
and there you
early
go.
access so they could address any problems that
Yeah.
arose before launch, and it's taking Steam charts by
Look at
storm.
that.
So why should fans not use that as a gold standard of how to
Right?
do it right? And why would a AAA studio not look at it and say, hey, maybe cramming microtransactions into our game isn't a good look.
Right?
When Mass Effect 4 comes out, I don't want to see a $20 Liara skin.
You will,
and
though.
I hope that its performance is tested across all platforms before release.
Yep.
Am I in the wrong for not wanting microtransactions and a stable video game at launch?
Dude, from the AAA space, you're absolutely in the wrong. It has become the standard for microtransaction-fueled half-assed projects. You are in the wrong from their perspective. Their perspective is so far out of fucking touch. This is, oh dude, this video is so satisfying.
Credit where credit's due now. There have been some really good examples of AAA games like the
Yes,
Dead Space remake,
absolutely.
Resident Evil 4 remake come to mind, both of which have been massive
They spelled Resident
successes
wrong.
for EA and Capcom. Vampire Survivors came along and took the internet by storm last year. Do I need to bring up Elden Ring again?
Yeah.
But that tweet blew up in the development sphere, and frankly, the pushback is just ridiculous. Developers
Yeah.
should be looking at what Baldur's Gate 3 did and trying to replicate where they can.
Yeah.
Not jumping up to defend games that are cramming in practices that
Facts.
fans are getting fed up with.
Yes.
And make no mistake about it, these decisions impact game design. Many games are utilizing
Yep.
battle passes and player engagement
Yep.
as a metric of success. For a player, that means more grindy missions.
Mhm.
That means more reminders to stop in the shop. It
Yep.
means a boring grind because keeping players engaged is a key metric.
Listen, keeping players engaged is a good thing, but the problem is they use these metrics to, like he said, it affects game design. If you have great game design, you can keep players engaged. Baldur's Gate is a prime fucking example of that. Now, who knows how many people are going to be playing Baldur's Gate in 6 months? Who gives a fuck? The game came out, it sold like hotcakes, they're killing it on Steam, they made their fucking money back in the first day. Who cares? This is where the whole idea of player engagement over gameplay design just falls flat.
Many of the people who came out to talk about why Baldur's Gate 3 shouldn't be the new standard have since walked back those statements, and I'm glad. Because if the industry can't take a good hard look at what's going wrong,
Yep.
why fans reacted the way they did to Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate 3,
Yep.
and then make impactful changes, we're screwed. Also,
We've been screwed for a decade, my guy. We've been fucked for 10 years, dude. But ever since the PS4 dropped, I have seen the quality standard for games drop significantly. I'm not saying it's because of the PS4. I'm just saying around that 2013, 2014 is when we started to see things go downhill very, very quickly for a lot of franchises. And yeah, we have the outliers, the Elden Rings, the Zeldas, Resident Evil, but a lot of games nowadays are putting, player retention, player engagement over impactful and really nice gameplay design. We have been fucked for so long, dude. I'm glad IGN might actually be waking up a little bit, though. Jesus.
people seem to be using the fact that Larian is a big studio against them, the fact that they
Yeah.
have a long development cycle against them.
Bro, they built themselves up from fucking nothing, all right? They earned this dub, all right?
Really? Blizzard is also a huge studio
Facts.
with over 8,500
Yes.
employees across several offices. They credited every employee at Blizzard in the release of Diablo 4.
Bro, talk that fucking shit, dude. Talk that shit. Let's go, man.
Bungie is a huge studio with over
Yes.
1,552 employees across several offices.
Yep.
BioWare is a huge studio with over 500 employees across several
Mm-hmm.
offices. And Larian is also a large studio with over 400 employees across several offices. All of them have established beloved IPs with a ton
Yep.
of lore to pull from. All of them have a lot of money to make video games. And all of them had a long time to make anything they wanted to make. To say Baldur's Gate 3 is successful because it's aligned with Dungeons and Dragons is insanity.
Dude, there's been so many terrible Dungeons and Dragons game come out over the last like 5 years. What are they even fucking talking about? What was that game, Dark Alliance, that came out? Was it last year? That game was fucking terrible. The Dungeons and Dragons IP in terms of video games is in the shitter, honestly. So that's a terrible excuse.
You think 800,000 Steam players are playing a game called Baldur's Gate 3 because of Dungeons and Dragons? No. It's clearly gone
Dude,
far beyond
talk that
audience.
shit.
I don't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't
Yep.
know this game had anything to do with Dungeons and Dragons. And you know why I'm playing it? Because I like good games with a heavy focus on storytelling. and bears. But anyway, it wasn't all doom and gloom from the development side. Thank you, Juno Blees, formerly of Riot, for jumping in and echoing exactly what I'm saying here.
I can't disagree with this one more. Whenever a game disrupts the industry and delights players beyond expectations, it absolutely raises industry and genre standards. Thank you, Juno. Let's go.
Her quote tweet reads, I can't disagree with this one more. Whenever a game disrupts the industry and delights players beyond expectations, it absolutely raises industry and genre standards regardless of why and how. We should look at the Larian success story and ask ourselves, how are we going to make our games better and create the next games that shake up the industry? Players should and must always expect more from us, never less.
Facts,
Thank
bro.
you. I implore AAA devs to look at these games that are being celebrated and look at your pipeline to see why the consumer is getting frustrated about the experience I outlined in this video. And obviously try and make an improvement, because telling me how hard it is when you're breaking profit and revenue records isn't a super compelling argument from the customer's perspective.
Yes.
Is Baldur's Gate 3 an outlier? Yes.
Yes.
But I, for one, wish it could become the standard. And
thank
being
you.
told to shut up because I don't know game design doesn't feel super constructive. But hey, I'm just some idiot on the internet who doesn't know anything about game design. I guess I'll just go buy my horse armor and call it a day. Enjoy your $20 on top of your $100 for the collector's edition, on top of your $15 for the battle pass. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below, because I get why you're frustrated, and it's really frustrating to see people not saying, hey, maybe we could learn a thing or two from Larian.
Dude, I need to subscribe to IGN for this fucking guy. IGN, fire your entire front-facing staff for videos and make this dude do absolutely everything. I want to see bags under his eyes. This is the guy, all right? Look, the fact that certain developers are feeling a little bit threatened and a little bit nervous that a game came out and showed them how it's done, showed gamers how it should be, and they're running scared and a little bit angry about it, tells you everything you need to know about the mentality going on at AAA studios. And I'm not saying everybody is like that, but the ones that are outraged and crying out about the fact that gamers are gonna have just a little bit higher standard, when for the last decade you guys have given us half-assed products, asked for more money, shoved microtransactions in there, and have made some of my favorite franchises fall to the wayside with bullshit-ass decisions from either the higher-ups or gameplay design from the developers themselves. And now that we have a game that we can look at as the golden standard, and this is what we want out of video games, now it's a problem. Fuck off. This guy summed up everything that I have been feeling and talking about on this channel for over a decade. And we need more people in this space to start holding these guys accountable. It's not about being entitled. There is a lot of gamers out there that are super entitled. They want thousands of hours out of a $10 indie game. It's fucking ridiculous. When we're talking about the AAA space, and he showed it, how much money has Blizzard made on Diablo in the last 3 months? How much money did they make on Overwatch, switching to Overwatch 2, changing the monetization model? How much money do these guys have raking in year over year to give us worse and worse products every single time? It's fucking ridiculous. And I'm hoping that with all of the good games coming out in 2023, Resident Evil, Hogwarts Legacy, Zelda, Baldur's Gate, Remnant 2, hopefully Starfield, there needs to start being a shift in the AAA space. And I don't know if we're going to see it, but it feels like this could be a turning point for the industry. As always, my name is Big Fry. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. This has been about 20 minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed the ranting. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one.